We get a lot of questions about tipping, and specifically, people ask us how much should we tip our butler when butler service is a part of an all inclusive stay. So, in this quick video, I'm going to go over first the different types of butler service that is provided at all inclusive resorts because there's definitely different levels depending on which resort that you go to, and then give you some average tipping ranges based on the different types of services that you receive. Now, when I talk about tipping, it usually stirs up a lot of controversy because not all cultures tip, and people think if they're going to an all inclusive resort, they shouldn't have to bring extra money and tip because it is all inclusive. And there's also a lot of talk about how the tipping culture, especially in the US, has gotten out of hand. So this video is not meant to stir up any controversy. They're just my opinions, my experiences. And a butler service is personalized, it's luxury. So I definitely think this person deserves a tip. So, what is an acceptable or average tip for a butler or concierge service? Like I mentioned earlier, the level of butler service that you receive varies from resort to resort. So, the tip is also going to vary. Let me give you some examples of this through the experiences that we have had. An example of this actually comes from the same brand, the Majestic brand. We stayed at the Majestic Mirage in Punta Cana, had an amazing butler named Jeffrey. We'll always remember his name. If we ever go back, I will request him. He checked on us constantly. He brought us gifts. He made all of our reservations. We did not want for anything. In fact, he would come to the beach every day just to check on us. Versus our stay at the Majestic Elegance in Costa Mujeres, who also advertised as having a butler service in the room. It was really more of a concierge service. It was more general service where they made reservations and excursions, didn't check on us as often, but if we reached out, they would answer. Other resorts that we've had butler service is LeBlanc in Cancun, and then most recently the Sanctuary Cap Cana. And at LeBlanc, I would qualify this more as a concierge service, even though they were way more attentive and personalized than Majestic Elegance, and it's a very high-end resort. If I'm comparing it to, let's say, the Sanctuary Cap Cana, where we just got back from, it was just on another level. And Joanne was our butler, and again, I'll never forget his name. He created this amazing, memorable experience. He did not want us to do anything except relax and have an amazing vacation. So he would bring us anything that we needed, always checked in with us, even sometimes went and found us at the pool or the beach just to check in and see how we were doing. So, my first suggestion would be if you are looking for a resort that has butler service, to do your research once you find it to see what level services that they give you. And the best way to do that is through their website, also through TripAdvisor. Really dive into those reviews. You could even type in the review search bar butler service and see what people say about it. Butler service is not something that we seek out when we are looking for a resort, but it is a nice added touch. And I do have to say, it does take that vacation experience to the next level. So, if you truly are getting butler service, our suggested tip would be about $10 to $20 per day. We tend to be generous tippers. So, for a service like Jawan gave us, we are definitely going to be giving $20 per day because he was hustling, bringing us so much that we needed. Some of the concierge services, maybe more like $10 a day. And then for that basic concierge service where they have the dedicated person sitting in the hallway, maybe they're making you reservations, answering questions, getting you things for your room, you could totally do at your discretion depending on what level of service they provide. Another thing we do when we meet our butler for the first time and he takes us to the room is that we'll give them the first day's tip right there. So usually a $20 bill, just as like a gesture saying thank you, we're excited to be here, and we appreciate the service that you're going to give us. And we don't do that necessarily to get better service, but more as a goodwill gesture, just saying, thank you, you're going to be taken care of, because we know that there are some people that just don't tip at all. And especially the employees that provide the butler service, they rely on tips as part of their wage. And I do get a lot of comments saying, well, that's not our fault that the hotels don't pay them enough. We're going to an all inclusive resort and we shouldn't have to tip them as well. And my theory has always been on this, even if you're coming from a country that does not have a tipping culture, when you're vacationing in a country that does have one, it's something that you should budget for and just plan for in advance. Another fun thing you could do in addition to a tip, which I'm definitely going to do next time, is bring them something from the US. Joanne even mentioned they love baseball, especially in DR. So a baseball hat or a jersey or a t-shirt, anything like that too, they will really love. And you can tip in US dollars or the country's currency. Now, again, I reference Cancun and Punta Cana more because that's where I've been traveling to, and the US dollar is widely accepted. So we always just use the US dollar there. We don't exchange into the currency, but both are accepted. And again, these are just based on my experiences. So I'm not saying that you must give this amount. Tipping is subjective, but I would love to hear your feedback and your experiences as well. And if you think these are the appropriate averages to tip a butler service. And I do respond to all comments and questions. And please like and subscribe to our channel. You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok and join our Facebook community where we have conversations like this all of the time. You can find all of those links along with links to our other videos in the description below.